Okay, everybody, let's go ahead and wrap up our overview of the ancient world by taking a look at the characteristics of the epic hero. And of course, with any list, with any character, we're not going to have all of them featured, but more often than not, these will give us another common thread to be able to stitch together and to link all of these, divergent works that we have from antiquity. So, the first characteristic of the epic hero is being of noble birth or even a demigod. So, by noble birth, that would refer to people who are not like me. In other words, my parents are just ordinary, nothing special about them, just like me. But the epic hero is different, right? So that would mean that the epic hero could be a prince or a princess, right? Descendants of kings and queens. Or even better, the epic hero could be a demigod, could be the son or daughter of a deity, right? So the epic heroes are not like us in terms of their birth. That's the first characteristic, first thing to remember. The second, the epic hero is capable of great deeds. And the emphasis I'd like to place here is on capable. In other words, the epic hero, that figure, might experience some turmoil, right? Whether or not to go through with that deed. And that inner conflict, of course, is something that builds tension inside of the story. So, capable of great deeds. Next, the epic hero is a traveler. In other words, you have to leave your village in order to get out into the world and see things and do things that wouldn't happen at home. And this is because of epic hero being a traveler. This allows the storytelling, the legend to build around the epic hero, because this allows contact with all of these different places, meeting new people, seeing new sights, battling monsters, right? This is all part of the hero building that we have, and it's not going to happen unless we leave home. So the epic hero is a traveler. Now, the next characteristic deals with deities, right? Different gods and or goddesses as well. So the epic hero will appeal to the different deities for help. When things get tough, the epic hero is not going to be afraid to ask for divine intervention. So it's going to appeal for help as well will have interaction with deities, right? So this is important because the epic hero is not just concerned with what's going on here on earth, but what's going on in the supernatural realm. This is also what the epic hero is thinking about and asking for that intervention, that divine help, and that interaction with the divine. Another characteristic of the epic hero. Next, the epic hero is faithful to family, homeland, right? We really can't say country, because when we talk about country, that would be, not just the geographical borders, but political borders and stuff. So we're not going to say country, but homeland. So faithful to family, homeland, as well as the principal deity or deities of the epic hero. So the epic hero is a good person, not gonna, turn on what he or she believes to be important. That's gonna hold those ideals steadfast. The next one is a characteristic that some heroes struggle with, and that is the idea of humility. Sometimes we'll see crossing the line a little bit with some boasting, being a braggart, but overall, the characteristic of being humble and humility is one we can see in the epic hero, as well as a very interesting idea, because most of the time when we think of the word and we see the word hero, we automatically think of people, these characters, these figures that have great physical strength, and they just go around, and that's how they survive, is just by brute force. But that's not always the case, because sometimes we can see that the epic hero survives with wit and cunning. So if you survive by your wit and your cunning, you're not surviving with brute force, right? How these epic heroes surviving? Intelligence. Yes. Wow. So this is a key point here. We're not always going to see brute force, right? Muscle's not going to do it. What's better than muscle? Brain power, intelligence, trickery, right? So now, with some of the wit and the cunning and the deploying of trickery, it's going to seem like, ooh, did he just lie to get out of a pickle, right? A tight situation? Did that character, that figure, just lie to save himself and his crew? Yes, he did. And that would be an example of surviving with wit and cunning instead of brute force. So, I'm really excited as we start to work our way into the period literature of the antiquity. So again, we have such a diverse, and wide range of, lands and times to cover that we're going to try to find common themes and kind of stitch threads through these works to kind of form a quilt, a patchwork, as we start to move through the ancient world. So, until I see everybody again, be well, do good work, and keep in touch.